Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Lilo and Stitch, the new Disney live-action remake. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the movie because every one of their cousins seems to be hating this movie. And this is one of those cases where I feel like everyone's just being super, super nitpicky. Even some of my favorite reviewers, like Jeremy Johns, he didn't really give it a favorable rating. And I almost always agree with Jeremy. Jeremy's like a spot on reviewer. Um, but yeah, surprisingly, like Grace Randolph didn't like it at all, really. She had a lot of nitpicks. I mean, and some of her points are valid. You can go watch her video, check out her video if you're curious. I'm not the biggest Grace Randolph fan, but because she does let her politics get in the way occasionally, but she does know her stuff. It'd be ignorant to say she's a fool when it comes to Hollywood. How Hollywood works, the inner workings, the machinations, is that how you say it? Not machininations. But anyways, so yeah, so she's very knowledgeable about that. She understands, why studios do what they do, and like I said, her politics kind of get on my nerves a little bit. She's very far left, and I'm just kind of a little bit right of center. So, but I mean, to discredit her knowledge would be rather foolish. So, um, but yeah, a lot of critics, man, like up and down the board, like there's an endless parade of people that just don't like this movie, calling it a disaster, a dumpster fire, you name it. So, is it terrible? No, it's really not. Now, I noticed one of the differences between the review I'm about to give you and the review that other people are giving is that just about everybody, it seems, um, watched the animated classic before going to see the movie. I did not, and I did not for a reason. I wanted to judge this movie on its own merits. Of course, there's some things that I'm going to remember from the animated feature, some differences I'm going to notice, but to watch a classic and then hold this modern incarnation up to it is rather unfair to the new movie. Nobody really, I don't know, maybe some people do. I don't really want a movie to be a you know, uh, scene for scene copy. So I'm just it's gonna be a short video. I'm just gonna delve or dive. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments which one's right and which one's wrong. Delve or dive. I'm gonna dive into the comments. I'm gonna dive into my thoughts on the movie. What I liked, what I didn't like, and I'll probably be all over the place. I apologize. I'm doing this without a script. But in case you're wondering, this is just me tunneling out my one chunk skyscraper. I'm still working on it because they lowered bedrock by like 60 blocks not too long ago. So I'm in the deep slate layer, but it's like 60 blocks thick or something. It's ridiculous. So I'm almost there. I am almost there. I'm getting there. But yeah. So for those of you that are like, fuck Minecraft, let me just get on to the review. So um, things I liked. Stitch. Stitch is perfect. Some people will complain that he's not in the movie enough, and I would say that's probably due to the fact that I've heard from several people that this was originally going to be a series on Disney Plus, like a limited series, and that being the case, they made this for like around 100 million, the production budget. And then, of course, there's advertising to raise it above that. But that is, hold on, excuse me, sorry. That is incredibly cheap by today's standards. I mean, hey, 100 million, sorry, is a lot of money. But these days it's not uncommon for movies to be in the 300 million price range or even more. So, Stitch looks amazing. I thought the CGI was spot on. His voice actor is amazing as well. Didn't have a problem with Stitch at all. There were several scenes, and I don't say this lightly because I'm not someone who's prone to getting emotional during a movie, but there's a couple scenes where I had to fight back some manly tears because this is a very touching movie, and it hits home for a lot of people, and I'm no exception. So There's a couple scenes. If you've seen even the classic, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they're repeated here. All the key beats from the original classic are here. There are some changes. I'm going to get into that because, frankly, we're talking about what a 30-year-old movie at this point, and this is very, very similar to that. So if you've seen the original, this is already kind of spoiled for you. But Stitch is perfect. Okay, moving on. Lilo is perfect. She's a 6-year-old actress. This is the first thing she's ever done, and I thought she was amazing. I don't normally like child actors because it's too easy to tell when they're looking at a coordinator or their parents, a coach. They're looking off camera at somebody, telling them what to do, reminding them what to do. But she was really, really good. She really nailed the character of Lilo, and I thought she was amazing. Now, Nani, her sister, this is where some of the nitpicks come in. Some of the nitpicks say, "Oh yeah, they ruined her character." That's a bit extreme. There's a lot of people, like I said, on YouTube making wild, outrageous claims because it gets generates clicks and views. And I got a small channel. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is just something I like to do. So I'm not going to lie to you or try to manipulate you. I'm just going to give you the truth, just like I would want, to be told the truth. So Nani is not ruined. I do feel like her character kind of takes a hit in this movie. Now she does have a nice little kind of like redemption scene for her character at the end, where she's crucial to the plot. And I thought that was nice. But yeah, to say her character's been ruined or butchered is it's one of those dramatic exaggerations that you see all over YouTube. Um, did her character take a hit? Yeah, I won't deny that. Yeah, she was, I thought, much more central to the movie in the animated feature. So yeah, her character took a little bit of a hit. Let's see who else is there. The aliens. Now, in the original movie, the aliens that are trying to capture Stitch, I forget their names. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but you know what I'm talking about, the big scientist with the four eyes and the one-eyed alien. Yeah, they're tracking Stitch the entire movie. They decided to go with like human disguises. So for almost all of the movie, they're just in their human disguises, which I thought was a little lazy. But again, this is, like I said, this was made for 100 million, so probably CGIing their entire characters would not only deprive them of screen time, which actors insist on getting when they sign up for a role, but they'd just be glorified voice actors at that point. Um, but yeah, it feels a little off. I guess they couldn't or they didn't want to do the whole aliens and silly human disguises because in animation, that passes mustard. People aren't too critical of animation, but it would have looked weird for these CGI aliens to be in disguises, I guess, for the live action. So that's a big change to the movie, and not a good one, I would say. I thought that was a detraction because I don't care what these actors look like. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the aliens, so the goofy aliens. Let's see who else is there. There is, I don't recall. She might be in the original, but they have a neighbor that's essentially like family. Like she's watched Lilo grow up. She knew their mom and dad before they passed, yada yada. So um, I don't remember her in the classic, so I think she's an additional character. But she is all right. I liked her character. A lot of people are hating the additional characters because they weren't part of the classic movie. But again, I don't want a scene for scene repeat of the original movie in live action form because that would be rather boring. But I guess some people do. I guess a lot of people do want a scene for scene recreation. So, let's see, what else is there? There's the casting, the surfing boyfriend, surfing love interest, he's in here. My daughter thought he was extremely handsome. It's not the word she used, but yeah, she thought he was amazing. So I'll trust her judgment on that. Uh, trying to think. Because really, I mean, that's pretty much the central characters. You got Lilo, Stitch, Nani, and everybody else is just kind of like in the background. They're not very important at all. So, um, one thing that I couldn't help, one difference. Hold on a second. Excuse me. One thing I did notice, which I thought was odd, but this is probably again for financial reasons because the movie's so cheap, and Elvis royalties probably cost a fortune. But if you'll remember the original Lilo and Stitch, the animated feature, I'm just trying to see how far I had to go right there. Excuse me. The original feature, there was a lot of Elvis. There's a lot of Elvis songs, like "Devil in Disguise." Leela, sorry, not Leela. Stitch was playing like cosplaying Elvis for a good bit of the movie. That's been stripped out of here largely. Now there are a few Elvis songs, but like I said, Elvis was a big feature in the original animated feature. So probably I'm guessing that was just a financial choice. Although like Elvis's character has been under attack by the far left, so that might be a big part of it too. A lot of people misrepresenting, him saying he stole black music, he stole rock and roll from black people, blah blah blah. Even though all the greats are on record saying that, most of them owe their careers to Elvis Presley because he went to town for them, and his music like made their music popular. Whereas on the radio stations before Elvis, they couldn't get any airtime. So, but I'm trying to think. I said the CGI looks pretty good. If anything, if I have like any like major complaints, I would have loved to seen more Stitch, but I get it. He's expensive. I didn't think like some people, some reviewers are saying that he's barely in the movie at all. He's like a side character in his own movie. That's not true. If you watch the original, there's a lot of screen time that Stitch isn't in there. You've got the social worker coming to their home. Um, you got the aliens, their scenes and whatnot. So Stitch is not by any means in every single scene of the original movie. It's just nostalgia filters. Um, yeah, people are so picky these days. Like I thought I was picky because I'm not really a fan of of the style. Excuse me, the style of James Gunn's Superman. But I'm not gonna call the movie trash before it comes out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's gonna be like even in movies I don't like, there's still a lot of aspects where I'm like, oh, I like that part. There I may not like the movie overall, but there's still some good scenes in it. There's a lot of bad movies that I've seen that I watch. I'll even rewatch just for like one or two scenes in the movie, because even in a bad movie, like I said, there could be some good scenes. So, um, trying to think. Hmm. Oh, a lot of people are being critical. Spoiler alert! If you don't want to know anything at all about the live action movie, I'm guessing most of you probably have already seen it at this point, but I am about to reveal something minor. Apparently, the ending is a little different, and a lot of people are being critical of Lilo. Sorry, not Lilo. Nani, her older sister, giving her like custody, giving the neighbor custody. They're being highly critical of that, and I don't really understand why because it's not like this neighbor loves them like a grandma. You know what I'm saying? She's literally been there the whole time. She knew the folks, knew the parents. She's watched these girls grow up. And of course, Nani is barely an adult herself, so she's still very childlike in this older woman's eyes. But she doesn't like give. She doesn't give Lilo to the older woman. She does give her custody. But I mean, she literally lives right next door. So Nani can pursue her dreams. She can, um, and she can always challenge it in court. I mean, it's not like a court is going to deny her sister custody once she's a little older and got a career under her belt. There's no reason for them to do that. So, but a lot of people are nitpicking about that, saying, "Oh, that doesn't make sense," and they're making fun of the whole Ohana means family unless your neighbor wants custody, and like I said, people just love to bitch about anything, and it gets really tiresome, really, really tiresome. Um, because I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm not going to be too critical of a movie that had a lot of feels in it. So, um, God, I'm trying to think. There's just not a whole lot of other characters. Like, is it a perfect movie? No, it's not a perfect movie. But considering how bad recent Disney live action movies have been, I'm willing to give them a pass. I'm willing to say, hey, good job. Same thing with the Thunderbolts. Was the Thunderbolts a perfect movie? Of course not. There was a lot of plot conveniences, a lot of things in the beginning of the movie to just get the story moving. Um, yeah, they're under the bed. Freaked me out at first when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god, where did all my traders go? But they're under the bed. Um, anyway, that happens a lot at nighttime, Mike, for some reason. It's cute. It's almost like they're hiding. So, um, yeah, just I would definitely recommend it. I went to see it with the daughter. We had a really good time. Um, it's gonna make 1 billion or something close to it. I don't think bad reviews are gonna stop this movie, and that is something to keep in consideration. Like when it comes to movies like you know anything Disney makes, or James Gunn's Superman. I have my reasons for not being interested in seeing because I don't like that flavor. But there are like people out there literally that are rooting for James Gunn to fail, or they want Disney to go bankrupt, and so they give you this fake opinion. They're going to dislike it no matter what. I mean, I'm eventually going to watch James Gunn's Superman at some point, and who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Maybe, or if it's not, maybe somebody will put a edited version out that takes out all the goofy stuff. Who knows? But anyways, that's about going to wrap this up. I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and and take care. All right, bye.